Welcome to the Sarah Scoop Show. It's time to get the scoop with Sarah.
Hi, I'm Peyton Gilliland. So I got started singing in church when I was about 6 years old, and it's just kind of blossomed from there. I started taking lessons in Huntsville, and then eventually I started taking lessons in Nashville and started recording, and it's just been a snowball since then. More of a job opportunity last year, and it was just it was when I started working with Lincoln, and I kind of realized it was a job opportunity and that I could turn it into a career. I'm really lucky to have a school that works with me on schoolwork and absences and things like that. So usually I just tell them in advance before I leave, and then they give me my homework to take with me, and I work on it while I'm there. My favorite part about being in Nashville is probably that my team is there, and I always miss them when I come home, so it's really good to get to see them. Is a lot different working with him than other people because the general, people in Nashville usually, because of my age, will try to like make excuses for me and stuff like that, but Lincoln does not do that. He he knows what it was like to be my age and working on music and stuff, and he knows how possible it is. So he's always pushing me, and it's really good for me because I need something like that. He's really great. 100%. I started listening to Cage the Elephant probably when I was like 12, and I've been a huge fan ever since. I still listen to their music. I went to their concert last summer, and it was a blast. Usually I'll come into a write with an idea that I've had, so usually it's either like a song title or a few lyrics. And then I work with either Craig Wilson, John Salloway, Jason Lane, or Hannah Arn, and we usually can just, they're so good with lyrics and melodies and stuff, but I usually come in with an idea, and then they help me form the idea into a song. Can be difficult, but it's usually not awkward. I find it really easy to write songs like that with Hannah because she's a girl, but it can be difficult with the guys sometimes because I feel like they don't really understand the girl's perspective. It's definitely one of them. Another one that I look up as far as music ability goes is Amy Winehouse, and the list goes on. There are so many. Listen to a huge mix. Usually it's like there's some pop influences in there, such as like Julia Michaels, Noah Cyrus, and then of course there's Adele, Amy Winehouse, and then Cage the Elephant always, because when am I not listening to them? Probably Phineas O'Connell because he's just incredible and he's done so many great things with so many great people. I don't even know if it was just like I was drawn to it. That's what my sound was. Like Lincoln kind of drew it out of me, and that's just what it ended up being. And I wouldn't change it for the world. Definitely felt pressure, but there was never a desire. Like I like to listen to country music occasionally, but I'm not a country music type of girl. My grandpa is absolutely my biggest fan, hands down, without a doubt. And he got to go with me to record a song not that long ago. He took me up there, and he just had a blast. He was flabbergasted by the whole thing. But yeah, my family is very, very supportive. Usually we only go up for a couple days at a time, so usually like 3. But whenever we recorded the EP, I stayed up there for a week at a time. Well, Frantic was one of those songs that was a little bit tough to write. I wrote it with Craig and I felt very vulnerable, but I feel like that song is very relatable for a lot of people. And Placeholder is the same way. I wrote that one with John Salloway and Hannah Arn. And that is kind of a funny story behind that song because we went in there to write and we had this idea, and John said, that can just be our placeholder idea. And I was like, what did you say? And he said placeholder. And I was like, that's our song. I definitely do like fashion. I have a fantastic stylist that I am learning a lot from. I'm kind of trying to develop my own personal style, so I'm kind of in the middle of that still. But she's definitely helped a lot with that. And yes, I do really like fashion, but I've got a lot to learn. Sabrina Carpenter, I love her outfits. I would love for them to follow me on Instagram. You can find me anywhere under the handle Peyton Gilliland Music, except for Twitter because that was taken. So on Twitter, you can find me at Music Gilliland. Yes, I love to hear feedback on, especially my Instagram, if somebody like leaves a comment or DMs me and tells me how they feel about the song. It just makes me feel like what I'm doing is valid and people actually care. Usually it just kind of depends on the situation, depends on the song, depends on the day, but it can be very relaxing or it can be stressful. Like I said, it seems to be easier for me to write as far as talking about emotions and stuff with girls. But then again, I know my male co-writers so well that I don't get embarrassed in front of them. But if it was somebody new that was a boy, then maybe. But yeah, not really. So usually if I write with somebody new, I take Hannah with me because I'm just such an awkward person that if I went to a write and didn't know the person at all, I probably wouldn't get anything done. But I do really like to write with new people, and I'm kind of hoping to branch out soon. I'm headed back up to Nashville on the 18th to do some scratch vocals, and then I'll be back up there on Thursday. Yeah, we're working on, I think it's going to be an EP. We're not 100% sure yet, but I think it's going to be an EP, so I'm excited about that. Spotify or Apple Music, literally anywhere you can stream music. I have to credit the quality of my music videos to Logan Christopher. He is incredible. And yeah, my team, just being on the set with them, it's so much fun. And they just have such a great atmosphere, and it's just fun to be able to kind of act a little bit. That's acting for me, at least. It depends on the song. Sometimes Logan comes up with the idea, but I came up with the idea for the Drag Me Under video. It just was kind of a visual I had in my head when we were writing the song, and it was really cool to see it come to life. So the girl who played the girl in the lake in the Drag Me Under video has been a friend of mine since I was probably like 7 or 8. She rode horses out here at my property for a long time. So we knew her. She's gorgeous. She was perfect for the role. We just hit her up and she was like, yeah, I'd love to. But outside of that, other actors that are cast are usually from Logan. I ride horses a lot. That's like my life consists of 2 things. It's music and horses and sometimes school, but I try not to be one of those horse girls that people portray on social media, but I have a feeling I am a little bit. Yes, we go to shows and all that kind of stuff, which it's kind of a bummer right now because we can't go because of COVID, but hopefully soon we'll be getting back into it. I think I might get to go to a show in June. My friends are always very encouraging. They like to tease me by playing my songs in the middle of school and stuff like that, and it always freaks me out because I don't know, I just don't like that. But they're always very, very encouraging, and they always listen to my stuff and all that kind of stuff. So it's really they're just good about it, and I never feel awkward or anything. I think that the furthest I would probably move is to Franklin because I'm not really a city girl. That's just not me. So I would probably, ideally be in Franklin with a giant horse farm. And I mean, that's so close to Nashville anyways. That would be perfect. Organic, edgy, and pop, I think. Feel like just with the amount of people that I write with, it's kind of easy for me not to get stuck in that certain sound because they all have different tastes and stuff. And when you kind of throw them together, and they can be a lot different. So usually our issue is trying to make them sound similar to each other, which Lincoln is really good at that. So it's just that's how our team works. Yes, I would love to do that. Another person who's been a mentor of mine is Hannah. She is the person who introduced me to all the people, and it's just kind of been, a snowball effect since I met her, and she's been introducing me to other people. She introduced me to John, who introduced me to Lincoln. So that was, I mean, genuinely, I wouldn't be where I was today without Hannah. So. Hannah, we met through our vocal coach. She was my first vocal coach when I came out to Nashville. Her name is Kristen K. Smith, and she was great, and she introduced us, and Hannah just took me under her wing from there. Wanted to meet each other because she was tired that day. I was tired that day, and we were kind of like, let's just reschedule. But my mom was like, no, I feel like you really need to meet this person today. So we did, and it just kind of fell into place. You've got to not be offended by rejection, and every time you get rejected, you have to get back up and work harder, but you can't let that get under your skin. Anybody can start from anywhere. I think that's the beauty of music. If you're talented and you have drive, then I feel like you could go somewhere and get to the top. If I had to pick one, it would probably be Happy for You by Gail or Do You Love Her by Jessie Reyez. Probably The Ones That Leave. That's definitely my favorite. You can definitely hear a difference in my voice. You can tell that I was a lot younger back then because you can hear my voice is like more high pitched. If you listen to like the really early ones like Ruthless and Magnetic. I have had several people tell me in DMs and stuff like that, but I've never had a personal interaction, so I'm looking forward to that one day, hopefully. So I would say that most girls typically kind of discover boys in middle school, and then they have their first relationship, and then they just continue and continue to be in relationships, and they kind of feel like they can't not be in a relationship. And I wish that girls didn't do that because you really don't need someone else you can't rely on somebody else for your happiness, because if there is nobody, then you're just not happy. So you have to learn how to be happy on your own, and then you can be with somebody else.
Thank you for watching The Sarah Scoop Show. Head to sarahscoop.com for more.